Here we go. Put your pizza down, bruh.
Oh, fuck that. I want the people to see it.
2 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
2 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
What's up, y'all?
My name's Ryan.
Victor.
This is what we was sipping on.
We got a little bit.
But it's gone. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit left.
Anyway,
Kendrick Lamar Cartoons Cereal. This is what I'm about to have this dude reacting on.
alright.
I had to hear it.
So all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes. Let my life loose in this booth, just for you, motherfucker. Hope y'all amused.
It's gonna be dope. Let's get it.
Alright, how's it going, everybody? I guess today I'm fucking reacting to something from Kendrick Lamar, which, obviously I'm familiar with him. I've heard a couple of his tracks. Definitely have not heard this track. Definitely have not heard this track.
I ain't live for good sense.
So, why the fuck you making me listen to this shit, man?
Because I need you to hear it, dude. It's just dope, man.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know.
This dude is woke. I do know. This dude is woke.
He's woke.
He's woke. There's a lot
It's
of
an overused expression.
No. Fuck that. It is an overused expression. But when used in the correct terms, it's justified. And with Kendrick Lamar, it's justified.
Such can be said for any statement.
Nah, fuck that. It can't be said. No. That's what this dude's doing.
Man, this whole fucking track right here is about to be a fucking big outtake.
No, it's not.
It's about to be a
He's
big
gonna be
fucking
pleased with
blooper.
it. He's gonna be pleased with it.
Alright, well, let's see.
Kendrick Lamar, Cartoons and Cereal. I love this dude's art. I love this dude's craft. I don't know about his life, but if his life was anywhere by means to inspire this song the way that he inspired this song, then damn, dude, I hope another homicide don't numb you, because a lot of people, they couldn't imagine witnessing a homicide in front of their face. It would destroy them. Maybe even think.
Well, this has already got me interested now.
No.
I wouldn't have assumed.
My
this
thing
was
is,
innocent
if you would know, it is Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar. Come on, we're speaking on deep, dude. Kendrick Lamar is a beast, dude. So with that being said, Cartoons and Cereal. Hope you gain something out of it. For the viewers that haven't heard it, I hope you like it, because it's got a Looney Tunes twist to it. It's very talented, it's very creative, and for me, it spoke from a side of black oppression, black history, and kind of what we as black people go through in life that most other people aren't enlightened to. We want to make it known. He wanted to make it known, and this is how he made it known. And I feel a lot of people need to hear this song. So, Cartoons and Cereal. Let's get it.
So, for those of you who haven't watched with this before, we like to play the track straight through.
Yeah.
So, for those like me, metalheads, or people who are not familiar with this music, you can actually listen to the song all the way through without pauses and all that shit. So if you're looking for just the reaction, we'll do that after the track plays straight through. So we've got time codes in the description below, so you can click one which will get you straight to the skip the intro and go straight to the music, and then one that will skip the music and go straight to the reaction element. So if that's what you're trying to do, we've got the description and the link below. Otherwise, I guess we're gonna get to it.
Let's get it.
I want to get line drive.
Want to lose weight and keep eating? For you.
I do kind of like that intro.
Dude, listen, man, I'm telling this thing, yeah.
What you got?
Now I was raised in a sandbox next to you and her. You was holding a handgun. She was giving birth to a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever knew you was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news. Looked in the mirror then realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finished watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is wily coyotes in the room. And I run it, and I run it, and I run it, and I run it. That's ironic. I run it. That's ironic. I run it.
Soak all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes. Let my life loose in this booth, just for you, motherfucker. Hope y'all amused.
And I run it. And I run it. And I run it. That's ironic.
In my financial situation.
More deliberation to begin later.
Look, popular pie plants pictured here.
Wile E. Coyote, Wile E. Coyote.
This shit make a nigga just wanna ride. Reminisce when I had the morning appetite. Applejack and after that I hit the TV died. And a maniac, the only thing that give me peace of mind. I'm a maniac when him and at the enemy that lie. Tell a story that I never glory 25. Not to worry, heavy warrior will come and see euphoria. And that's a covenant I put on every tribe. Ain't nobody go tie your shoe. Nobody go abide by your rule. Nobody horn your gun. How come your tongue say killer then kill my mood? Like speed living in the world you know. Little hoe me feeling like a live wire. Bet I put some new tires on a lightning bolt till I wreck into a pole like a right to vote. I'm from the bottom of the jungle, living in the bottom of the food chain. When you get a new chain, nigga take it from you. A new name, one stripes and you a zebra looking like. Hope another homicide don't numb you and none do things we'll never learn soon. In the era what we wanna earn soon. That's an era you can smell it in the era. Everybody really doomed. That's why I'm back on you motherfuckers. All y'all can suck my dick. All them days at the county building, I'm about to make my mama rich. Cartoons and cereal, I ain't felt this since Scrooge McDuck. Elementary hood shit.
She was giving birth to a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever knew you was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news. Looked in the mirror then realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finished watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is wily coyotes in the room. And I run it. And I run it. And I run it. And I run it. That's ironic. I run it. That's ironic. I run it.
Soak all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes. Let my life loose in this booth, just for you, motherfucker. Hope y'all amused.
And I run it. And I run it. And I run it. That's ironic.
This shit make a nigga just wanna shit hone everybody, even with a pot to piss in. How my aim sloppy at a loud mouth. Discharge, dismiss any business of yours. Discounts never did amount to a check that your ass couldn't cash when the shit bounced. Everything dismounts, niggas gon' flip that car. AKs for the whole hood, house lick went down perfect. 2 shots to the head, he deserve it. Overheard it, him a bed with a bowl and remote control. Darkwing Duck lost service. Mama said I better duck, she's nervous. Drama all up in the cut, hit the curtains. I mean, don't intervene with no gun machine. This black stay jerking, the feds stay lurking, emerging on everybody corner dashboard. Get a toe tag when you play tag with the task of a new task force. Everybody wanna know my life, how did I make it past yours? Well, I'ma tell you like this, I've been running this shit since I asked for cartoons and cereal.
Giving birth to a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever knew you was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news. Looked in the mirror then realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finished watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is wily coyotes in the room. And I run it.
Soak all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes. Let my life loose in this booth, just for you, motherfucker. Hope y'all amused. I did karma came. Crackers gave me ball and chain. Friends, enemies, all the same. State, fed, both can hang. Nobody can mute me, but I never said nobody can't shoot me. Just another stat to the white folk. Still whip work to the white yoke, absolutely. Every day feel like the one before. Hunt the money, don't hunt the hoe. If you do what you always done, then you get what you always got. You dumb buffoons, I ain't seen the back of my eyelids for about the past 72 hours. Hand in my heart, face to the hood, I pledge every word you ever heard was honest. Yeah, this me, no mic, no cameras, no lights, just pain. Mama, Hamas, trauma cannot sustain. Dirty money come with lots of stains. Road to riches come with lots of lanes. Just another player with lots of game. Never had shit, got lost of game. Just another player with lots of game. Never had shit, got lost of game.
That was interesting. Definitely a lot different than what I expected just from the name. Expecting something a lot more lighthearted. Yeah, I liked it a lot. The only thing I wasn't a fan of were those breaks that they took when they were talking about, you know, sitting there watching the TV. The whole track had great flow except for when you broke it up there. Is there a function to that you saw specifically, or is that just how he decided to lay the track out?
I feel like it was just a building of what was next to come. Because at the end of the day, my thing is this. And again, this is just my intuition on it. Obviously, artists have their own visual as to what it is to be that they create versus what other people accept it to be. But with that being said, people don't know what it's like to live in the struggles that most African Americans have to live in. And I feel like this was very much so a political view because you see it on TV, you see it on the movies. I can name many movies that you see it on. But with that being said, it's different from seeing the struggles that African Americans go through, which back in, not necessarily the 2000s, but in the 80s, even on into the early 90s, movies perceived it to be, as well as music perceived it to be. But what it actually is, it's one thing to see a homicide on TV versus actually witnessing it. It's one thing to perceive growing up looking at somebody to be a hero and to turn out that they were actually a criminal or a menace. You know, you got Menace Society, Boys in the Hood, you know. There's a lot of New Jack City. There's a lot of movies out here that present themselves to have a lesson to it, you know, and rather than seeing that lesson, there are many people that are of my community that just look at it and they're like, oh, damn, I don't need that bad guy. He had it all. He had it all, but he had all this.
I want the money, I want the
power. The money, but they don't get the lesson from it. That money and that power, Scarface, that money and that power, all of it, it led to their demise. And people don't genuinely, not everybody, I'm not going to say that everybody, but genuinely most people in the world don't perceive that because that's not their reality, that's not their life. I'm not going to speak on race.
They glorify it.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, okay, so Kendrick Lamar, Cartoons and Cereal. Yeah. It's a day in the life of what people don't visualize. Mm-hmm. You know, saw all in my wounds. Live my life, you know, like set in this tomb. I'm tipsy as hell, so I'm not getting the lyrics right. But to me, how it speaks is this. It's the everyday life of what most African Americans live in. We are set up in a system where we are set to fail. Very few people see the side of it. Kendrick Lamar, he made it out of it. Kendrick Lamar, this is his gift to the world. I get it. I've seen friends die. I've seen people that I was close to lose their lives, not only necessarily to the system, but how the system has played us as individuals, as African Americans. Because at the end of the day, I genuinely feel this way. I'm only half black. I got white in me too. But I see the African American side. We are not respected, even today, how we should be. We got a president in office.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
No, it is. It's very obvious.
It's, you know, yeah. I mean, there's no debate here about any of this. We're just talking really more about artists.
No.
Our artist context, because you know it's obvious.
This is why I want to play the song.
Yes,
and maybe it's controversial.
Yeah,
and maybe it's something that we can
talk about. It's
obvious
to anybody who's paying attention that these realities are at the forefront of society right now. When you see people who cops will kill somebody with
Trayvon Martin
with no warrant, you know, because somebody was reaching for their wallet.
Michael Brown.
And they'll get out on bail. But there'll be a famous black rapper, and I forget the name of the guy right now, but you know, be really easy to look up.
He released Rosfeld on a $250,000 unsecured bond. Now that means Rosfeld, as you heard, did not have to put up any money for his release. There was no question in my mind the defendant was not a flight risk.
Meek Mill's case has denied his request for bail. The judge, Jenny Sprinkley, says that he's a flight risk and he is a danger to the community.
How many Americas are there again? Oh, that's right, there's two. One in which a white police officer named Michael Rosfeld can face homicide charges for shooting an unarmed black teen 3 times in the back, only to be released without having to pay a single damn penny in bail. But in the other America, the one where the racist justice system is programmed to cripple people of color, you all remember Meek Mill, right? The rapper sent back to jail for violating parole, yet he was denied bond for popping a wheelie in the same state. That's where you get the likes of Khalif Browder, who you remember was falsely accused of stealing a backpack and spent 3 years in prison in Rikers Island, some of that time in solitary confinement. When he faced the theft charges, his bail was set at $3,000 initially, which his family struggled but then managed to raise enough to pay for. But of course, in that America, it doesn't matter because the judge later changed his mind and decided to deny bail altogether. And so he was kept imprisoned in a literal hell on earth, and the end result, well, we all know what happened. So let me ask you, in what world is someone who is falsely accused of theft sent to one of the most brutal prisons in the world, resulting in years of torment to the point where he took his own life, while a man who committed homicide on camera is allowed to enjoy the comfort of his own home while he awaits trial?
The point I'm making is like, so these guys, they're sent to jail for whatever reason, rappers, public figures, for something very small, and they're not released out on bail because they're considered flight risk. So you got a cop who killed somebody released out on bail, but somebody who did something minor isn't released on bail. So the point of all this is that it's within society today, if you're paying attention, the inequality is obvious. It's obvious. You know, and so that's definitely not, I want to be clear, that's not the debate we're having right here.
We're talking music,
and
even then,
like, these tracks and the way the artists present these things.
I'm happy that I presented the song to you because it presents that debate.
Yeah.
You know, and people genuinely, I feel like they need to hear this, you know. At the end of the day, racism is very much so alive and it needs to be spoken upon. You know, there are whites that hate blacks for whatever reason. At the end of the day, you know what? There's this history of, oh, well, blacks sold blacks on to the Europeans to make what is today happen. And you know what? Hate is hate and hate is hate. We were born in America. We are raised in America. There was a lot of us, African American whites, that built upon this country that deserve, I'm not going to sit here and say just necessarily reparations, but they also deserve some credit for how this land was built. You know, And it falls into what we're going through today. The target necessarily isn't on black people anymore. It's on with our president in office. Oh, Muslims, Mexicans, immigrants. You know what? At the end of the day, and I've had family members that have told me otherwise, I tell you to read your history books. What we know that is written as history is this. Europeans came to the land in search of freedom of religion, freedom of their own speech, freedom of their own will. They attacked people that had already claimed the land in their name, raped, battered, beat. And it's been a consistent history from then on in. The point of this is to be real, and I'm being real with you. And music is the most beautiful thing in the world that conjoins us all together, because it's the only thing. And if it's not the only thing, it's one of the only things that can join us together as human beings. So with that being said, on the racial end, I'm not speaking specifically for blacks, but the reason for me showing you this was because, and I know you understand the life and the existence of African Americans, not to a complete whole.
Yeah, like I haven't experienced it personally.
No,
but I'm aware and I observe.
Right, and we're here, I'm half black, I'm half white, but even then we see each other, we don't see color. We're mutual. Yeah. This is my brother. I love him with all my heart. But the reason why we're speaking upon this today is because it needs to be spoken upon. I feel like
because this is the way it should be everywhere, right, not just between me and him.
Right, exactly. There is so much history that is behind us that can't be seen for ourselves. So we don't know what is lies, we don't know what is truth. But there is truth amongst us. And this is what the truth is. We are both humans, black and white, brown, yellow, whatever you want to call it. There has been wrongs on many sides of color, race, whatever you want to call it. Here in the United States, the people of African American descent, such as Kendrick Lamar, with this specific song, I feel like it's very good to stand out in public view and political view for the simple fact of there are people that don't understand what it's like to live in a system that wasn't meant for you versus to live in a system that was meant for you. And what I can say, and I know for a fact, and I know that he knows for a fact, I know that you guys know for a fact, whether you choose to listen or believe in the history that has been presented amongst you, is this. African Americans that came to the United States of America haven't always been, I'm not going to say never been, but haven't always been presented that opportunity of choice to grow and be equal and be better and to live how everybody in this country that is the land of the free, the land of the brave, should live. This artist, he made it out. He's trying to live his own testimony, and I believe in that testimony. That's the reason I played this song. I hope you guys gained something from it. I hope you gained something from the discussion that we have had amongst each other. Drunk, sober, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, we're real people, you're real people, the people of our past are real people. The lives that we have lived as African Americans, the lives that we have lived as Caucasians, it doesn't matter. There are wrongs, there are rights, there are things that we can't understand, and the only way to understand them is to have them presented in front of you. And even when they are presented in front of you, you can't depend upon the people that visualize them to guarantee gain the correct knowledge out of it. So whenever I look at movies such as Boys in the Hoods, New Jack City, I can name more, Tipsy as Hell. With that being said, I don't expect everybody to get the genuine message that was meant to be out of the Scarface. There's only so much greed that can take you. Being humble, it brings you a long way. For Kendrick Lamar, I appreciate this message. I appreciate this song. I feel like it brought to me, because I haven't necessarily lived it. I grew up with family that was in Chicago. I went to Chicago and my uncle said, Duck, you need to be inside by 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I never understood why I had to be inside by 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But I heard as soon as I laid my head down at 8 o'clock at night, pop, 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 pop. Woo, 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 woo. Like, I understood it then. But at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, when it was daytime as a child, I did not understand why I had to be inside the house. I'm gonna wrap it up. But with that being said, there are a lot of people in life on other sides of the race spectrum that will never understand what it's like to live on the other side of the race spectrum.
They have no empathy.
They have no empathy. But they have no empathy because they genuinely don't. My thing is, again, like I said, one of the main things that I got out of this, hope another homicide doesn't numb you. When have you ever in life witnessed somebody die, leak blood out, lose their life? This is genuine.
Well, I also feel like in that particular line, what he's referencing as much as anything is watching the news. We watch this shit every day.
Right.
And what happened? We just flipped the channel.
Right. But there's nothing more realistic than physically seeing it.
I just don't feel like that's what.
I feel like it's a combo. No, it is a combo. It is a combo. T.I. said it better himself. Give me something different to speak on, and I'll speak on it. At the end of the day, right now, what we have in the society as African Americans, even now to this day, and there's people, oh, you have positivity, you have this, and you have it. Yes, I agree. But at the end of the day, things are better, but things could be way better than what they are.
And people just want to forget everything that's happened in the past.
Right.
And not even
dust it under the rug.
And not even in the past. Everything that's even happening today.
Right.
With how cops clearly treat minorities different.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't care. It is what it is. I got family that promotes them. I got family that doesn't promote them. In my personal opinion, Democrat, Republican, I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, what I know right now is a man that is in office, whether he sees this, whether he doesn't, he could look at it and say we're drunk and high strung. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Donald Trump, dude. Raise a finger to that shit.
Nah. You know why I'm not raising a finger to that? Because Donald Trump is irrelevant. He's not the problem. He's He's a problem.
I get it.
Right now.
Right.
But he's a problem because our parents fell asleep at the wheel and allowed these politicians to gain complete control over how our government works. And so now we don't have two parties. We basically have one party because the Democrats and Republicans, the only real difference between the two is whether or not one's going to let you have an abortion. But they're all going to vote for what we saw under Donald Trump. The Democrats voted for an extra $80 billion to our military budget. We're not even officially fighting any fucking wars. The Democrats voted for it. They didn't fight. They didn't protest. They didn't do anything. They voted for it. And so the mainstream Democrats are basically Republican light. And the Republicans have gone so far right, we're almost becoming like the countries we supposedly are supposed to be fighting against, totalitarian. And so that's why I'm not a big fan of fuck Trump or any of that shit. Yeah, I'm not a fan. He's an idiot. He's a retard. He's fucking, like, the fact that the only reason he has any money at all is because his daddy gave him some. Like, and he's lost half of it.
No,
he's lost half of it. He's not a good businessman.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but
the real problem is twofold. Well, I mean, it's a lot more than that, and we could talk another 6 fucking hours on this right here. But it comes down to the fact that people need to start waking up and realize that the politicians are not working for us anymore. They are working for the people who pay for their campaigns. And so they're now, after, Bernie Sanders made a drastic step and said that he would not take any political money donations from super PACs.
That's real.
And no one knew who the fuck he was. And he almost beat Hillary Clinton, one of the most well-known politicians in the country. And the only reason he didn't is because the Democratic convention, literally, it's been proven, worked against him to do so. We gotta fucking wrap this up. This is gonna be a fucking hour and a half track. It's gonna take 7 days to fucking upload this on YouTube. It's gonna take 8 days for me to fucking edit.
I'm sorry. This came off a Kendrick Lamar track, but I love tracks like this because it speaks to politics.
He did. He had some shit to say.
He did.
Like I said, musically, I wasn't a huge fan of the breaks that he put in there that were just, they were non-musical.
Right.
But
I feel like because cartoons is simplistic.
Well, it's not even simplistic. I get the concept is simplistic. The track itself, it had a lot to say.
No. The track itself, it had a lot to say. But I'm talking about the title of the song. If you've never heard the song before, Kendrick Lamar, Cartoons Cereal.
I definitely expected some special ed shit.
But at the end of the day, when you listen to it,
it was
nice. And this is my thing.
Like I said, the only thing
I feel like it's part of, because if you pay attention to the Looney Tunes, there's a lot of racism that's in the Looney Tunes.
Dude.
There's a lot of
Disney?
stuff. Yeah, Disney. There's a lot of
little
racism.
anti-Semitic, in case you didn't know.
It's subliminal racism, but it lives within these cartoons that I'm 29 years old. You're 29 years old. We were exploited to it. As children, we would have never known it to be because we weren't at that intellectual level of knowledge. But now as adults, we see. We've been educated. We understand. We take from the world broadly what we can take from the world. Exactly. We've looked. We've searched. We've thought about it.
Because for the most part, you're not going to be taught this shit.
Right.
Unless you come to some random ass YouTube channel like this. And where motherfuckers just speaking out loud.
Right. And at the end of the day, you know what's morally right and what's morally wrong. So whenever you think back on something that's been morally displayed upon your face, you're able to analyze it as this is wrong, this is right, that's just straight up fucked up. So with that
no such thing as black and white unless you're killing
So with that being said, with this song, and I'm happy it created such a huge conversation. With this song, it's simplistic to an extent, but it is exactly what he had a lot to say. This dude is really onto something.
Well, and that's the cool thing about, hip hop, good hip hop or, rap, whatever you want to call it. This is definitely hip hop. But, there's little instrumentation. There's a production value for the music, but there's nobody playing intricate instruments for the most part.
Yeah.
And so you focus on the lyrics and the message of the song.
Right.
Which is also why I have such an issue with, tracks who have no fucking message at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because then what the fuck is there? You're not playing music. You got nothing to say. What the fuck is the point? So that's the beauty of a track like this is we get to focus in on the lyrics and interpret
and to kind of answer your question. And to kind of answer your question, it's sad to say, but you know what? I genuinely feel this way. In the world that we live in, me and you, we search for knowledge, we seek knowledge, we look for.
You gotta seek it out.
What's beyond. So my thing is whenever we look,
you take just what's given to you.
Right, exactly. So for instance, whenever you saw this dude as an artist, Kendrick Lamar, you were like, I'm kind of looking forward to it, but maybe at the same time I'm not, because I have expectations, because I've heard stuff from him before. And even then, you were like, you didn't know this until I educated you on it. You know, I don't think he spoke on this before. No.
Yeah, I wasn't for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
No.
So it was like, 'cause that's the thing that put me off. To first, you know, at first is just because, you know, I heard a few of his tracks, and they were lyrically they were good, but they were not like super deep.
Right.
And they definitely weren't talking about these hard issues.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, after it was, you know, real pop, you know, it was essentially pop culture to speak out against police brutality. All of a sudden, he was out on the gram, and he's like,
right.
You know, and so that's why I didn't like it. You know, that's why I didn't seek out more of his music.
Right. I'm gonna tell you like this: Kendrick Lamar has a great deal of stuff that'll leave you overlooking, but there is also, and I feel like it is in quantity.
Did he fucking do swimming pools? Oh, great.
Yeah. He did.
Fucking love that track. That's a dope ass party.
It's very, and even then, that's
crazy. That's crazy to think about the fucking. That's
why I love Kendrick, because genuinely, you know, there's people that overlook his talent, and they see that and they're like, oh. Again, kind of like we were speaking on. There's certain people that get the message, and there's certain people, oh, I just want to pull up, I want to drink. That's what he's not talking. That's not what he's talking about. Yeah, we're pouring up and drinking, but at the same time, we're genuinely hearing what this motherfucker. I'm not pouring up and drinking to get fucked up and ruin my life and destroy everything else. No.
Or at least we're not doing it to that point.
To that point. No, right. But what he was genuinely speaking on in that song specifically is your conscience. Everybody falls into the same pattern of, let's get fucked up, let's party, let's bullshit, let's not educate. It's easy. Let's fall into it.
It's popular.
And at the end of the day, it's a meme on fucking Facebook. I don't know if T.I. said it. I don't know who the fuck said it. I see you celebrating, but what are you really celebrating?
What the fuck are you celebrating?
Exactly. What have you done?
I know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But I can't think of
what have you done?
Physically,
mentally, emotionally, what have you done to impact this world and gain some kind of genuine success that you deserve to celebrate? Let's end it right here.
Yeah.
Let's end it right here. I picked this song because I feel like it has a great deal of impact that a lot of people, number one, aren't willing to hear, and for the people that are willing to hear, a lot of them, they can't genuinely feel where the artist was coming from. And for me, I have not lived it, but I know people that have lived it. For me, I have not lived it, but I have seen people that have suffered from living it. I don't know where they're coming from, but I could only imagine. I don't want to imagine. In some circumstances, it's not imagining it. I've actually lived it. Not to a full hold. I'm not a thug. I'm not a gangbanger. I don't do that. But I know what it's like to lose a friend over gang violence. I know what it's like to be racially profiled. I know what it's like when somebody is in front of my face and they're practicing subliminal racism in front of me. Just because of the color of my skin. And I'm not fully black. I understand.
Well, you kind of get it from both sides, though.
I do. I do.
You ain't black.
No. And thank you for pointing that out. So even now today, I say we have a lot of growing to do as individuals. And it's not just based off of racism. It's based off of humanity. It's based off of moral. It's based off of everyday action. And we ain't perfect, but at the end of the day, the only way to become perfect is building each other up, not separating each other. That being said, I'm Ryan Murph.
Victor.
This is Musical Odyssey.
Thanks for joining us.
Good night. Good morning.
What the fuck ever it is.